Hi, everybody. Kathy Johnson here. Uh, the world is full of pretty rotten news. And so I'm here for the next couple weeks, hopefully on a daily basis, to bring you some stories, some feel-good stories. So let's start the way most fairy tales start. Long, long ago, well, maybe not that long ago, but far, far away, in the land called Uganda, there was a young girl and her name was Joan. Now, as happens in a lot of fairy tales, Joan's early life was not easy. She was orphaned at age 11. Now, luckily for her, there's a couple, the Tushabis from Kenya, who had started an organization for AIDS orphans. It's called AIDS Orphans Education Trust. And Joan was picked up by them. Now, let's go back a little bit to when she was growing up. Her father had died before she was born, but her mom brought her up to appreciate two things to help her life. And one was her faith, and the other was her education. So when this organization, the AIDS Orphans Education Trust, came along, they were able to give her three things. They were able to give her education, food, and medical help. Joan had a place to stay, and she grew up and she thrived. By the end of her education, she had two college degrees, one in social work and another in organization and leadership. So this brings her up to close to today. So a few years ago, she decided to give back. And the way that she's giving back is she created her own organization called Hope Empowerment Foundation Organization, HEFO. She lives outside Jinja, and through her organization, she found a village that is outside this town, and it's out in the bush where there's no electricity and no running water. And she went and she started knocking on doors, looking for women who needed help. And just the way she needed help, she wanted to help other women. These women are some of the most oppressed people in the world. By the time a girl starts to have her period, she's no longer going to school full time. She has to stay home. Out there, they don't have any extra money for things like things to help out a young girl in those ways. But also, some of them don't even have, the families don't even have enough money to send them to school at all. Frequently, men come along and they marry the girls when they are 14 or 15, and the girls start having children. So they don't have an education, they start having children, and many times, because of polygamy, the man might then move on and not stay with the young woman. So here are many young women in this area without education, without resources, and without a home sometimes. So what are they to do? So along comes Joan knocking on these doors. And she says, let me show you how I can help you so you can be self-sustaining, so you can have a good life. And they're like, we don't believe you, and we're not interested. Then she started talking differently and started inviting them to come to Bible study. She told them how she had prayed to God for help and she got it. And they're like, we want to know about this God. So, because of starting with Bible study, she started with a group, and now this group is large. And one of the things that Joan is doing is creating an infrastructure. There's land there where crops are being grown, where there's a piggery, which is like a pigsty, um, where there's a caretaker's home in process, there's latrine in process, eventually classrooms, not only for the children who don't get any education, but also for the women so that they can learn their trades, so that they can bring in money, so that they can then feed their families and they can send their children to even a better school. There's so much. So Joan is now in the middle of this process. And her birthday, her 30th birthday, is June 9th. My goal through sharing with you these wonderful stories, I've got so many of them that will bring joy to your soul and compassion to your heart. I'll be telling them over the days and hoping that you'll consider throwing some extra money over there. For example, let's say you were willing to give up a lunch, one lunch, one lunch out. Lunch out costs in the United States about $15. That's enough to buy, hold on, I know nails and the washers for the nails for the construction that she needs. One lunch. By the way, the $15 over there goes so far that it would actually pay for 150 children to eat lunch, one lunch here, 150 there. It's amazing what our money can do. But we don't want to buy lunches. We instead want to teach them how to be self-sustaining and buy their own lunches. So that's what I'm going to do over the next few days, keep telling you stories. In the comments to this video on YouTube, you will see the information as to how to donate. We need thousands of dollars. The link will take you to the GoFundMe that is being run by Joan's sponsor mother, Kim. So I thank you. I thank you for listening. Just wait till tomorrow's story. It's going to be great. See you then. Bye.